Well, boys and girls, it's that time again to react to some more popular YouTuber and setup streamers. Due to popular requests, a lot of you guys want me to react to Loaf's setup and Danucd's setup. I apologize if I butchered your name, by the way. So yeah, with that said, let's get started. Imagine using only one software to control all the RGB lighting from your setup. Well, with today's sponsor, Signal RGB, you can do just that. I've been using these guys for over a year now, and I just love how I was able to replace 6 different programs with just one, making my life so much easier. With Signal RGB, I'm able to completely customize the lighting in my setup, from the peripherals to all the PC parts. In the Devices tab, you can see a full list of compatible products that work with Signal RGB. And under the Layouts tab, you can position all the gear anywhere on the grid to get the perfect flow of lighting in your setup. You can find a ton of awesome free lighting effects in the libraries that will take your setup to the next level. If you find one that you like, but you don't like the colors, you can completely customize it. That's what's so awesome about Signal RGB. You can change pretty much anything from the size to the speed of the animation and of course the colors. So you're guaranteed to find something that fits beautifully with your setup's color scheme. What's mind-blowing is that this software is free. They are community-driven with support for over 650 of the most popular PC gaming peripherals and PC parts, from Razer to Corsair and more. So check them out. Use my link below and see if your gear is supported on their website. And if it's not, don't worry, because they're constantly adding more items to their list. All right, let's start off by taking a look at Loaf's setup. When I actually mentioned him in the last reacting video, his name was very familiar, but I couldn't quite figure out who it was. But apparently he was on Setup Wars sometime last year. So it'd be really interesting to see how his setup has changed since he got featured on the episode. So I'm assuming it's this one over here, 2 months ago, a teenager's dream setup, gaming and in-depth desk tour. But there's another one up here 5 months ago that says an 18-year-old's dream setup tour, $30,000, yo! This man's gotta be capping, right? Like, if that's the cost of his setup, that can't be true. But if it's the entire room, then I guess it can be, but $30,000 is a lot of money. So let's go ahead and take a look at his in-depth desk tour. Yo, okay. That's literally the first thing that stood out to me. Is that massive 49-inch, it's gotta be a 49-inch ultra-wide, super ultra-wide in vertical mode. This guy's probably looking at the monitor like this. Let's continue with the setup tour.
Since I have my monitors mounted to my desk, in the middle I have these adjustable desk legs. At IKEA, they don't sell it anymore. However, I do recommend the Lough as an alternative. Finally, for the countertop, it's the Ekbacken countertop. Unfortunately, it is
it's a solid countertop.
It does look really clean with the marble finish. I think it's a really good budget alternative to the highly popular Carlby at about half the price. Moving on, let's talk about the stuff I have behind my setup. A lot of people ask about these wall panels. They are this light gray color and I have them raised off the wall. To get them raised off the wall, I used a 74-inch by 43-inch piece of plywood.
That's pretty cool.
And I used a 65-foot Govee LED strip all the way around.
So you had some spacing behind the panels to add a bit of RGB lighting. Looks like that's only visible on the edges, not so much in the center, unless you raised all the hexagon panels actually from left to right. But he's only able to add the RGB strips on the outer edges. Of course, that makes the most sense. So you can kind of see the bleeding of the lighting. My boy Havoc actually did a phenomenal job with his hexagon panels. His was on another level, but it's really cool to see something similar done by Loaf.
At the top, I have these black shelves from IKEA, one being 74 inches and the other one being about 43 inches, something like that. Something that's actually pretty interesting is that they don't level out, so they're not at the same exact height.
Ooh, what was that?
Something that's actually pretty interesting is that they don't level out, so they're not at the same exact height.
That's a very minor nitpick. I can also see, if you look really closely, you can see some of the hexagon panels not exactly even. That's just like super minor nitpick stuff. But I think they came out really nice.
It's actually okay though, because you can't really tell as the 49-inch monitor blocks the way.
It is a 49-inch monitor.
These cherry blossom leaves, a keyboard, and also a couple IKEA plants. Oh yeah, and my boy Elmo. I didn't want to put too much up here.
Elmo got crucified or something, man.
Keyboard, and
the guy's got X's on his eyeballs.
Oh yeah, and my boy Elmo. I didn't want.
What did he do to you, Elmo?
I don't want to put too much up here as I've seen people do it and it be cluttered. I wanted to show off the RGB up there, but I also...
It looks nice. You definitely did a good job decorating it.
Something interesting about the outer glow with the LED strips. So originally I had some bleed through the panels from the LED strips. You could see the hot spots and it kind of looked a little tacky.
Yeah.
So what I ended up doing was putting these white pieces of paper around the edges where you can't see them on the outside. However, if you kind of get close to the wall and look behind it, you can see
that's smart.
Paper there. Basically just blocks.
It helps diffuse the lights a little bit.
Bleed, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You can tell that there's a massive difference and it looks way better with the paper. And for the final part of the wall, the centerpiece of it all, the LED clock.
That's a nice clock.
For under $30, it's such a good item to add to a setup. It looks so clean and I am very happy with it. Now let's move on to the monitors. I have 3. Personally, it's the best middle ground between a lot of screens, but not too much. Yes, I'm aware that I have a vertical 49-inch monitor. So
do tell me why, Lo. I'm actually very, very curious why you have this monstrosity of a monitor in a vertical position. This thing is a freaking Eiffel Tower on your desk. There's no way you can take advantage of the top third of it by sitting down at least. If you're standing, obviously you can probably reach up there, but it just seems so uncomfortable and not practical at all. So I'm really curious to hear what you got to say about this.
Oh, I can't really talk. I want it to be unique, okay? The 49-inch vertical is essentially 2 vertical 27-inch monitors stacked. At the bottom I have OBS and at the top I put Discord. Anyways, my main monitor is a 1080p 240 Hz.
Wait, that's it? You didn't really like dive in deep. Like, so you have Discord on the top. Do you actually see the text from Discord? And do you have to like lean forward when you're typing? I'm really curious how it actually, how the synergy is while you're actually using the setup.
Anywhere monitor. I would love to upgrade to 1440p or 4K soon. Would want a 240 Hz or up monitor, but that will have to wait. Rounding out my somewhat unique monitor layouts is my last monitor. I use it for Spotify and to tab to my friend's stream. It is a BenQ 144Hz 1080p monitor and it is IPS, so although it does have a weird viewing angle, it still looks good. All of the monitors are mounted on Vivo monitor mounts that are linked in the description.
So let's talk a little bit about the monitors. Lo said he wanted to go with something a little bit more unique, and I think he definitely nailed that aspect of the setup. You don't get to see this many types of setups on Setup Wars. Usually you get the traditional like symmetrical layout, you know, when you have monitors close together with no like gaps between. I think one of the reasons this setup stood out to me the most when he submitted was how all his monitors are kind of like in different locations. And that's not to say it's a bad thing. Everyone's different, obviously. This is what he prefers. And if it's functional for him, then, you know, it might not be the cleanest and the coolest looking, in my opinion, because it's not symmetrical and stuff. But, you know, if this is how he likes the monitor set up, then, you know, that's his choice. But I want to talk more about the 49-inch ultra-wide at the end when I'm kind of reviewing the setup, but let's just continue.
For my case, I use the ever so famous TikTok case, the Lough 011 Dynamic.
This man did not just call the 011 Dynamic a TikTok. I'm quitting this freaking series. I can't believe Lo called this case the TikTok case. Is that what everyone's calling it on TikTok? Because this case from Lough existed before TikTok was even cool. Okay, let me tell you something. Us PC enthusiasts or gamers will find some offense if for anyone that calls this the TikTok case. I think Lough will also find it kind of disrespectful, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. This is the Lough 011 Dynamic and it should be called that, not a TikTok case, in my opinion.
Lough 011 Dynamic in white. My CPU is the 5950X, which is a beast of a processor. Damn. 16 cores, 32 threads, which is crazy overkill for streaming. For my GPU, I have an Asus Strix 3090. It is so beautiful and I have basically no limitations for gaming. Yet all I play is Valorant. I'm sorry.
This man's played Valorant on a 3090. I'm about to cut someone right now. At least he's not playing Minecraft. It could have been worse.
Gigabytes at 4000 megahertz. My motherboard is my recent upgrade, the Royal 64 gigabytes at 4000 megahertz. My motherboard is my recent upgrade. It's the Dark Hero X570 and it is so beefy. For fans, I have 9 in total, 3 LO120s in black, 3 QL120s in white, and 3 ML120s connected to my radiator.
Well, okay, first of all, some beast specs, my guy. Holy bejesus. Something I did notice though, is your fan configuration. It's interesting. So let's go back here a little bit. So he's got 3 fans in the front reversed. So these are essentially exhaust fans. Typically when people put fans in the front, they're supposed to be intake. And then he kind of offsets that by putting 3 more intake fans on the top.
20s in black, 3 QL 120s.
And then the bottom fans are also, looks like they're intake. I think, yeah, they're intake as well. So a very interesting fan configuration. It's not something I recommend because obviously hot air rises, so you kind of want to follow the natural direction of air. So, you know, intake in the front, intake in the bottom, and just exhaust all the hot air out. But, you know, if his temps are okay, then I guess that's fine.
Yes, I know my bottom LO120 isn't working. I'll fix that later. The next category I want to talk about is my lights. I have a lot of lights in my setup. The back RGB strip on my desk is an Elgato light strip. Behind my monitors are the Govee light bars, and the last major light that I have is an Elgato key light, which I use for streaming. Now, audio, a lot of times people ask me about my mic. I use the popular Shure SM7B with an Elgato boom arm. Might be the best boom arm I've used, by the way.
It's a solid boom arm.
My XLR cable and a Go XLR for my interface / mixer. For the last thing, it is mostly miscellaneous things, peripherals, accessories. My keyboard is an NK65 aluminum.
Oh, nice. I feel like there's so much on camera and there's very little B-roll. Like, as much as I love looking at your beautiful face, Low, I want to see more of this setup. I feel like there's just not enough B-roll shots in here. The ratio is off, is all I'm saying.
Lubed with Crytox 205 grade 0. Keycaps are PBC Katakana, and I bought a...
That's a clean keyboard build, yeah. Matches the mouse pad,
and of course,
matches the mouse
on the
really
right
good.
side of my keyboard. Should I sell these again? Moving on to my mouse, I have 2, both wireless, one being my custom Razer Viper Ultimate made by Nacho
dope.
Customs. It has a little Kilo shadow here, and it has my logo.
That's dope. The logo lights up. That's
being
dope.
My white G Pro Superlight, which I do main, and I use that most of the time. I do have a cheap white soundbar that I use. I used to have really expensive speakers, but this was only like $20, and I wanted something that didn't take up too much space, but better than monitor speakers. Plus, it looks clean. I also have...
So he had expensive speakers, and he downsized to a single, cheaper, I guess, soundbar. Kind of seems like a very similar situation to mine, where I downgrade. I keep saying downgrade, where I switched from the Kefs to my Cantos. But going with like a wireless Bluetooth speaker is, I would say that's a downgrade. I guess it's sort of a downgrade if you're using like Bluetooth speakers just for like Windows sound and stuff. But if you're constantly on the headphones, then I guess it doesn't really make sense to go with speakers. So it's personal preference. When he says that there's no space for it, if you really wanted speakers in your setup, you would make space for it. So there's always that.
I have this money phone mount. Aloe bought it for me, and it's a nice little phone holder. My current mouse pad is the Avalanche from Gutsy Aiden. Very pretty, and the quality is super nice. I do have coasters. These are from Elgato, but I highly recommend coasters to anyone wanting to keep their desk clean. My headset is HyperX's Cloud Mixes. I love the look on these. Lastly, the thing everyone's been waiting for, the nut button. Inspired by its Jarian, this is easily the best part of my setup. Anyways, that is everything in my setup.
So he got the nut button because of Jarian, which I also reacted to his setup. I might get one for myself. I can use it every time I see bad cable management.
Turns out I forgot a few things. I forgot to talk about this guy. This is a trash can. Open.
Can't forget about the trash can.
Open.
Doesn't Pokimane have the same exact trash can? Doesn't even work, dude.
Okay. I accidentally pressed the button.
You broke it. You freaking broke it.
Thing. Wait for it. Wait for it. Ah, there we go.
Yeah, the trash
can
takes itself out. I love it. All right, so let's take a look at some parts of your setup. I do have some things to say as well as a final rating. Let's get a good shot. So first and foremost, the PC fan configuration, although not incorrect technically, it's not optimal. You technically always want your exhaust to be set on the top and then your intake on the bottom or in the front, just to follow the natural path of air, right? Because hot air always rises. I'm really curious to actually see what your temps are when it's on full load. Now for the actual setup itself. Boy, oh boy, I don't even know where to start. The elephant in the room is the super ultra wide. I think I touched a little bit on that. It's very unusual to see such a tall monitor like that. Practicality isn't there. Like, I don't know how you're gonna use that monitor. I would love to know. Maybe you can answer in the comment section below if you're watching this video. But I feel like the cutoff for that should be like a 32-inch ultra wide. Even that is still pretty freaking tall. Like, I would say 27-inch would be perfect. But again, if you find uses for it, good on you, my guy, good on you. Everything else is kind of split up into completely different places. It is definitely unique, very different than other setups that we normally see on the show. But you know, if it works, it works. I'm just not a huge fan of the monitor layout. It kind of looks like a command center at NASA or something with a bunch of like monitors elsewhere. I think if this was my setup, I would easily put the 489-inch ultra wide on the top. Like, that will be my overhead. And if you really need a vertical monitor, I would swap the top right monitor, put it in vertical mode on the left side, and then keep your main monitor where it is. But that would be, you know, kind of the orientation I would go with. Of course, that means you won't have space for your clock in the center, so you would have to reposition that, but that's what I would do at least. Obviously, symmetry isn't really present here in the setup, and things aren't exactly centered. Like, the soundbar isn't exactly centered underneath the monitor. Very nitpicking stuff like that, but overall, it's not a bad setup. If I had to rate this out of 10, I will give it a solid, it's between a 7 and an 8. 7.5 out of 10. That is my final rating. Did we actually look at cable management? Let's see. All right, so here is the cable management. I don't really have like an eye level view of what's going on underneath, but I do see one cable kind of dangling underneath the desk. I don't know what cable that is. And the rest of the wires are tucked away behind the Alex unit, it looks like. And there's like a foot pedal or something underneath there. No hanger for the headphones, at least from this shot, but not bad cable management. So yeah, that's gonna reinforce my rating of 7.5 out of 10. Again, guys, this is just my personal opinion. I feel like I have to always say this because people get upset when I give a low rating or my opinion does not match with their opinion and it's their favorite YouTuber, for example. Case in point, the PewDiePie reaction video. A lot of angry PewDiePie fans didn't like what I had to say about his setup. But just because I say something about someone's setup doesn't mean it's like in the 10 commandments or it's like law. Okay, it's just my personal opinion. That is it. It is just a reaction video, so please don't take these videos seriously, guys. But anyways, yeah, Lo, if you're watching this video, I would love to see you on Setup Wars again with an updated submission. But yeah, pretty dope setup, dude. All right, guys, up next is Danucd. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, by the way. This does not seem like an English name. I'm guessing it's this one over here, a year ago. My dream PC studio, okay. Let's take a look at this. 620,000 subscribers. I will subscribe and toss a like already. Let's see what you got.
Hello guys, this is my first short vlog video, and today
She's got an accent. It's a very cute accent. I meant to say like it's very pleasing to listen to. My wife isn't around the corner, is she? She always appears out of nowhere with like toilet paper, but we're good.
I'm gonna show you two exciting things. First is my new creative studio, and second one we're gonna be special unboxing. So let's go.
Damn, look at the quality of this video. I'm getting Casey Neistat vibes.
By the way, this was the place where you...
All right, let's skip to the intro real quick. I'm guessing it starts over here.
Behind these doors is my dream PC studio. Are you ready?
Let's go, baby. Let's check it out.
I forgot the keys.
It happens to the best of us. Oh, damn. See, this is how you do a setup tour video. Damn, the production quality is next level. Jesus Christ. Sheesh. It's a clean setup, god damn.
So this is the new place where I'm going to create some new stuff for my channel. This small office is created for gaming, filming,
Her English is really
editing, and
good,
music making.
by the way.
So the reason why I need this place is just because I always wanted my own working place outside home where I could learn new things and be creative. As you may know, I stream
Damn,
daily
that's
from
a clean
7
setup.
to 8 hours from my home.
You know, you don't really see that many music production setups. So when I do come across one, it's always very fun to see how people balance like gaming and music production. It's also very different than just like full-on gaming setup. So I'm actually really glad we get to see a setup like this.
This is where my streaming room is located, and my home dual PC setup I use only
7
for
to 8
streaming on
hours,
Twitch and
man,
nothing else.
that's a lot.
So after the stream, I take my bike and I come here to this
That's a
office
typical
and
work day. I
spend
don't know
the
why
rest
I'm
of the evening
surprised.
right here. But about my new creative studio, I'm gonna talk in the other vlog series.
that's so
But
clean,
for
dude.
now,
It's so symmetrical too. Look at that. Everything's beautifully centered. Oh my, we got like posters on each side. You got the cyberpunk in the middle, nanoleaf panels, and you got the beautiful ultra-wide. It's magnifico.
For now, this video I would like to dedicate to the 3 most important
I can listen
things
to her
for
talk
the
all
PC
day,
gamers.
yes.
But first of all, let's open one special box. This box is... And these 3 things were most important things for me to develop my CS 1.6 skills.
Oh, she's been
My
gaming
parents always
since
used to give me
07.
new products from Logitech. And now many more years
Jeez.
later, I can't believe that I have been partnered with this amazing brand Logitech G. Many of you asked me what kind of keyboard, mouse, headsets I'm using right now.
Damn, that's a beautiful
so
transition
I'm gonna
though.
show you and explain you why and how I'm using my Logitech G Pro gaming gear. Let's start from my Logitech G Pro X headsets. I did test them since the day one they were out, and I instantly fell in love with them because normally daily
Nice.
I stream 7
Oh,
to 8
it's
hours
custom. Look at that.
and I didn't feel
It's got
any
her
discomfort
channel
at all. It
name,
was really
channel
worth
name,
it for me.
channel
The
name
design was
stitched on there. That's
exactly
pretty
what I
dope.
need. I love this minimalistic and classic look because I was already tired from those big transformer headsets. I'm using blue XLR microphones since the first day I started to stream.
Oh
But
my
I
god,
had
dude. If she's
only
recording this
5
video with that
7
microphone, that is so
I would
impressive.
recommend the blue
There's no
microphones
echo
for any type of
whatsoever.
production because
She knows how to
quality is
soundproof a
really
room.
good. Now it's time to show my gaming keyboard. For that I'm using Logitech G Pro 10 keyless keyboard, which makes less noises while I'm streaming, and I absolutely love it while I'm gaming. For the streaming PC, I'm using Logitech G Pro X 10 keyless keyboard with a customized
That's freaking dope, dude. Did you see that? The keyboard is on a
PC, I'm
freaking
using
monitor
Logitech
arm.
G Pro X 10
Oh, that is so dope. I'm guessing she's running dual systems, so then she can just easily maybe power up OBS or something and then just like slap it away and use her main keyboard on the desk. That's very interesting. I've never seen that before.
10 keyless keyboard with a customized pink and transparent keys. In this new creative studio, I'm using Logitech G815 mechanical low profile keyboard. So far, I'm really enjoying my experience with it, but I'm thinking of getting wireless one. And last, my G Pro
course.
and G Pro wireless mouse.
Damn. She can kick my ass in PUBG any day. Jesus.
And now the final
really
and
good.
fun part. The
God
winner of
damn.
question and answer video of the giveaway Logitech G Pro wireless mouse is the Wacky Tingo. Thank you everybody for watching, for all the suggestions and support. I hope you did enjoy this
Wait,
video.
that's it? What about the actual setup? I thought we were gonna get like deep into like the speakers and the cable management. Oh, okay. It just kind of seemed like a Logitech sponsored video, if I'm being honest. But okay, let's see. Let's go back to some of these pictures and kind of just dissect the setup from the pictures or the angles I got here. Okay, let's start with the aesthetics of the setup. This is one gorgeous setup. It's not super over the top with a bunch of RGB lights. I feel like the lighting is spot on and it's perfectly symmetrical. Everything is centered. There's also functionality there. Like we got some shelves for the speakers, so it's at eye level, ear level, and we even got the MIDI keyboard underneath with the actual gaming keyboard, so she can kind of swap between both of the keyboards. Looks like the MIDI keyboard's on a drawer that she can pull out, so that's cool. So yeah, aesthetics, I think it's done well. The icons on the monitor kind of bothered me a little bit, but it's not enough to distract me from everything else that's kind of going on here. We didn't get a closer look at the PC, unfortunately, but it looks like a pretty high-end system. I'm not sure if the side panel is on there or not, but it's a pretty pretty good looking system. Cable management, it's actually not bad. It's not perfect. I do see a bunch of cables from the PC just because of the way it's positioned. And I do see a couple cables on the left speaker. Those two cables you can just group up together, so it's only one cable. One cable looks a lot cleaner than two or more cables, so simple Velcro strap would easily solve that issue. Everything else underneath the setup looks clean. I mean, honestly, I think she nailed it. The execution is on point. There's functionality there. There's even a bit of personality. Got some lenses over there on the left side, so you can tell that she's into videography or shooting photos or making videos. And there's even some posters up top. Cyberpunk tells you she's a gamer. So yeah, I think she nailed pretty much all the aspects of creating a really solid setup. I'm gonna have to give this setup a solid 8 for sure. Well done. Well done. Apparently she's a very popular streamer and music producer from Latvia. Danu said, if you're watching this video, I would love to have you on Setup Wars, so please toss in a submission. All right, and that will do it for today's video. As always, if you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by tossing a like. And before you head out, let me know in the comment section whose setup I should react to next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in the next one. That's what I was gonna say.